Now streaming on Peacock.
Deep in the woods stands a lone door.
What's behind the door?
Nightmares. Your worst nightmares.
Time to fight your demons.
Who are you?
I'm a weapon.
This girl is a cold soul killer.
I'm gonna end this thing.
Are you like the Terminator?
The Girl in the Woods. A brand new series streaming now only on Peacock.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Joseph Bonner, and welcome to my new podcast, Legends of 2022. Now, the reason why I started this podcast, you guys, and the reason why it's titled Legends of 2022 is because the only people that are going to be on this show, I'm going to tell you right now, the only people that are going to be on this show are people making legendary moves in 2022. Because if you want to reach your goals and if you want to be something, make something of yourself, your career, your life, then you have to be extremely intentional in the decisions that you make. And you have to be willing to make the moves no one else is making to achieve your goals. No excuses. No, oh, I wish I coulda, woulda. No, oh, I can't do that. No. That's a mindset that got left behind in 2021. So the only individuals we're going to be having on this show this year are individuals who I know have made those decisions, have made those moves, and have pushed towards their goals, because I feel like those kind of interviews are going to be more inspiring, hopefully, and encouraging, to encourage all of you out there to continue to do the exact same thing yourself. Now, as a business professional, you guys, and as also an advocate for children, and as a man of African descent, there are obstacles that I face on a continuous basis, and I'm sure you have your own obstacles that you face on a daily basis. Now, depending on the obstacle, right, will depend on how we figure out workarounds around whatever obstacles we're dealing with, right? It's just important that we find those workarounds and that we stay determined and stay on task to reach our goals. Now, there's a story I want to share with you because I heard it last week, and it was such a great story. It really had me thinking, and it was about a donkey that got stuck in a well. Let me tell you the story. All right, so this donkey got stuck in the well, and the owner of the donkey, discovered his donkey was in the well, was like, oh, you know what? My donkey's stuck in the well. But you know what? There's going to be a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of investment to get him out. So, we're just going to just bury him there. It's just easier just to bury him there and just let him stay. So now when the donkey heard that the owner was not going to come save him, he got frustrated. He got, hysterical. He's like, you're going to kill me? Are you kidding me right now? So the man has all the people in the village, and they get dirt and they start throwing it down the well so that they can bury the donkey alive. Now, as the dirt's hitting the donkey, who's at this point hysterical and frustrated and scared, the dirt's hitting him on the head, and he's realizing that if he just steps up on the dirt, it's going to bring him closer to the top of that well, and he can get out. So as they kept throwing the dirt in, the donkey kept using that dirt, shaking it off, and using that dirt and stepping up a little bit further. So he threw some more dirt on him, shaking it off, and stepping up. And eventually, the donkey was able to be freed, even though people were trying to bury him alive. So the point is that we may be getting hit with things constantly that are really set to bury us alive mentally. Our mind can't stop thinking about all the issues and problems we have. Bury us alive emotionally. Emotionally, maybe we're shattered because of past trauma, abuse, torn relationships, abandonment, betrayal, denial. Emotional issues that are meant to bury us alive. Maybe we're suffering financial setbacks, wondering, are we even going to make it? How are we going to pay our rent? How are we going to get through? Things that can bury you alive if you let them. Just like the donkey in that story, we have to shake it off and use that dirt that was set to bury us alive as a stepping platform to get out of the situation. So we shake it off. We get hit by something. Shake it off. Step up. We get hit by financial setbacks. Shake it off. Step up. We get hit by betrayal of a spouse. Shake it off. Step up. We get hit by maybe we're off our diet and the doctor told us, we got X, Y, and Z because of how we're eating. We shake it off. We step up. Maybe our children, we lost a child. That's difficult. That's difficult to shake off. But we find a way to step up. We have to. It's about not only survival, it's about reaching our own personal, emotional, mental, physical goals. And don't let anyone make you ashamed of setting goals and wanting something better for yourself. Because, we live in a world today where sometimes people will bombard you with their own insecurities and they make you feel like your goals aren't worth it. You're never going to make it. That's their insecurities. But you may be still left with the question, how do I shake it off and step up? How do I do that? Well, let me ask you, how have you done it before? What did you do in the past when you faced a difficulty or a trial or a challenge? How did you shake it off? And how did you use it to step up? Can you think of something in your life that falls under that category? Take some time. You got something in mind? A situation when you faced a challenge and instead of giving up, you use the circumstance to better yourself, to improve your life, maybe even to help others along the way? Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Well, then that's how you do it again. You have to stop, slow down, take a break for a second, look at your life and figure out a way to now take your challenge or obstacle and use it as a stepping stone. For me, I do so much, you guys. And some people say, well, why do you do so much? I've always done a lot. I did a lot when I was in school. I did a lot. I've always done. That's just me. That's just who I've always been this way. I've always been the person who needed 20 projects to work on, not one. I couldn't do just one. That's just not who I've been. So I've always been a person who's worked a lot. And so obviously with each venture that I engage in, there's always obstacles and challenges that come with each and every thing I'm a part of. And so for me, I get a lot of practice shaking things off and using them to step up because I'm doing so much. So when I was at a time when I had first gotten into publicity and I, started working with celebrities, and then I kind of decided to work with business professionals, there were times where I wanted to share a story with, the world, but I didn't have a platform to do that. And, when you're asking others to be on their platform, they could say no, and I didn't have the $5,000 to invest in a PR firm for a month retainer. And that's just to retain them for a month, right? I'm not talking about even a year's service. I didn't have that kind of capital when I first started my business. And so then how do I tell my story? How do I tell my story? Or the stories that are important to me, even when someone tells me I can't be on their platform. So to me, that was an obstacle. And I could have just been like, oh, I'm not going to do it. Forget it. Guess I'm not going to be in publicity. Oh, well. La, 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 la. No, I didn't do that. I said, you know what? I have a story I want to tell, so I'm going to figure it out. So I figured out how to build a magazine. I figured out how to podcast. And trust and believe, my first episodes, my first magazines, garbage. But it was important to produce garbage so that I can eventually produce what I produce now. I had to start somewhere. But I was not afraid to fail the first few times. I was not afraid, because I'm like, I saw what I wanted. And I think that's what happens is when people, they face their obstacles and they say, well, these are some solutions, but I don't know how to do that, and I don't want to fail. You can't be afraid to fail. You got to be okay with failure, even as you're reaching your goals, because part of success means you got to fail maybe 1,000 times before you have that one successful, run, and that's okay. That's part of how we make things happen. Now, for those of you guys out there now, let's just be honest. You guys don't have to do that today. Like, I had to start a media company, okay? Because like I said, I didn't have the thousands and thousands of dollars to invest to get my name out there. You guys don't have that issue. You know why? Because you guys have me. All right? Part of the reason why I built my company wasn't just to provide a platform for myself, but it's also to provide a platform for all of you guys as well at a price that you can afford. So you guys know that part of the ventures that I do is I publish multiple magazines. I host multiple podcasts. I own over 20 radio stations. In addition to that, I own 14 television stations and channels. So, and I give everybody an opportunity to be a part of it. I have prices that are affordable for even a small business owner. And at the same time, allowing those business owners to also invest in something that's productive for our children. Because you guys know I love my kids. And, I fight to death over some of my kids now. You know that. So you guys don't have those obstacles that I have because I created a platform for all of you. So if you guys don't know what I offer, and again, this podcast is called Legends of 2022. Of that, I definitely am. Because you have to have a legendary mindset to make it, to make things happen. And that's why the only guests that we're going to be having on this show are people with that legendary mindset. When I put Dwayne Johnson on the cover of Legend magazine, back in 2018, Dwayne sent me a tweet, and he said, and I'll never forget it because it was not only encouraging for me as a publisher to finally get someone to say they appreciate. Well, Taylor Swift, she's always been appreciative. Her team's always been appreciative. So shout outs to Taylor Swift. Woo woo. Oprah's team has also always have been appreciative. Always. Not Ellen's team, but I still love me some Ellen. Don't get me wrong. But her team, I don't know who she got working for her, but I think that's part of the reason why she's leaving the air. I think some of that downfall happened from inside, to be honest. Now, y'all got me talking about Ellen. I was not talking about Ellen. I was on a whole nother tangent. Now I'm bringing up Ellen drama. All I'm saying is she has some people that, sometimes you got people around you who claim to be for you, but really be secretly like sabotaging you and waiting for your downfall. That's what she's surrounded by. But I ain't one to gossip. Okay, y'all didn't hear that from me. We moving on. I digress. See, I'm gonna start dropping. See, y'all don't know. I know some stuff, but I ain't gonna be saying everything now. Okay, the point I was trying to make, you guys, before I had gotten on this Ellen DeGeneres tangent, is that when Dwayne Johnson expressed appreciation, see, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about Dwayne Johnson. Woo! I'm on a whole nother story. All right, so when Dwayne Johnson tweeted me, he said that when he first started out in his career, he never expected to be a legend. He says he remembers selling autographed photos of himself for $5. When he was wrestling, and he would sell, his photo and his autographed it for $5. He was selling it for $5. He said that's where he started, and that he appreciated the recognition. And we do, like I said, with Legend Magazine, that's been my baby. We always try to recognize those who are real. And one of the things I appreciate about Dwayne Johnson is his humility. So we are going to be honoring him again on the cover of Legend magazine in December 2021. So that issue will be out on the 15th. So that's actually really, really soon. So we're honoring him as well as Mariah Carey and then also Keanu Reeves, just because, I like Keanu Reeves. He's a cool guy. And Mariah's hot right now. Oh wait, we're not honoring Dwayne Johnson on December. We're honoring Dwayne in January. But Dwayne has an episode with me. Well, not we're doing Dwayne Johnson episode on a few of my podcasts this week coming up. So that's why he's on my mind. The point is, you guys, is that everybody's not going to appreciate you. Everyone's not going to give you the recognition that you deserve, but there will be some individuals who will appreciate what you're doing. And you have to hold on to those moments of truth, those moments of appreciation, because they can really inspire you and give you the courage to keep fighting and to keep going. And that's how we looked at it. When we got his message, his tweet, we're like, thank you, Dwayne. We appreciate that, because like sometimes you don't know. And obviously it ain't like, we didn't pay him, to feature him. We don't, which we don't have to do in the media. But just the fact that he expressed appreciation. I mean, I'm a real person, right? Like I have emotions and feelings. So I always appreciate people who show appreciation. Kevin Hart is another one who I adore, because he's the same way, someone who's took time to show appreciation. And that's the reason why they're doing so well, you guys. Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, they're hot. You know who else stays hot? It's Taylor Swift. And I'm going to tell you, all three of those individuals have always expressed appreciation to me and my team when we worked on articles or features for them. They've always been extremely appreciative. The ones who you never hear nothing from, not a hi, bye, goodbye, why, in your eye, nothing. They stay hot for a little bit, and then you don't hear about them for the rest of the year. But the ones that you hear always consistently doing something amazing, I can guarantee you they're extremely appreciative people. And people recognize, real recognizes real. It just does. So there's a tidbit of some there's a tidbit of some business and advice there. If you want to be relevant and stay relevant, show people love, genuine love, genuine appreciation consistently. And if you do that, the real people are going to surround themselves by you and with you. And that's going to also help you to get to where you need to go, So I'm always very cognizant of the people that I have in my circle, even in my business circle. And I'm careful to note appreciation and lack of appreciation. I have to be very, very careful who I allow to get close to me. So I have to take things as I see it. You know what I mean? But I'm fortunate to work with some pretty appreciative people. Well, because I choose to. So stay appreciative, you guys. Stay appreciative, because that's how you make legendary moves in 2022. Now, if you guys are really trying to step up and step your game up, and you're trying to compete with some of these, big wigs and people who've been out there for, decades, and you're just starting out, then you really need to go to my website, josephbonner.com, and look under my services. And I can guarantee you there's something there that you can afford that will help you to kind of step out and step above your competition. And can I be real with you guys for a second? Like, genuinely real? I mean, if this is too real for you and you hear what I'm about to say and you need to turn away, that's part of the problem with you, not me. But can I be honest for a second? Okay, I'm going to be real. Like, you guys know. So I've seen people walk away from my services that are extremely affordable, right? Walk away, go to a competitor who doesn't even offer 1/4 of what I offer, not let alone half. They don't even offer 1/4 of what I offer, let alone half. They'll go to them, pay 10 times more for 1/4 of what I offer, and then turn around and get nothing in return. And then they want to come to me. And the reason why they went to them in the first place was because they were white. And the reason why they didn't go to me in the first place is because I was black. And now you want to come to me. So let me be real. I thought I was going to be honest. I told you guys. I said, can I talk with you? I meant that. Listen, if you are the kind of person who's still getting hung up over the color of people's skin, that may be the reason why you are limited in your opportunities. That may be the reason why you ain't made it yet. And you may never make it. Because money hangs around money. That's how it goes. Fame hangs around with fame, period. Unless you're really, really brilliant and really, really, really nifty and talented, chances are you're going to have to put in decades of work before your name gets any kind of recognition. Now, if you want to wait decades, go ahead. I'm sorry, I ain't got decades to wait. I'm like, I'm not waiting decades. I'm the kind of person I find workarounds. Listen, I ain't got decades. I may got 5-6 years. I ain't got no 10s and 20s of years that I'm no, not gonna do all that. So I always find workarounds. So if you're trying to cut through all the decades and get there faster with someone who knows what they're doing, then you need to go to the josephbonner.com website, look under my services, and get something that you can afford and not shy away from it just because I'm black. Trust me, not only am I black, I'm extremely talented. That's why you listening to my show right now. Extremely talented. So, but if you're the kind of person that's hung up over that stuff and you need to pay 10 times more because the person's white, then go ahead and do that. And then when you get nothing in return, you can come to me again, and then we may work with you. I don't know. We'll decide. People be so funny. I'm telling you guys, it's so hilarious how I've been seeing people. I'm like, really? Y'all paid $10,000? And some people tell me these stories like, y'all paid $10,000? I'm like, and what'd you get? You got one article? That's it? And what was the source? Oh, that source? I'm like, oh, I could have did that for you for like for $200. They're like, really? Like y'all the crazy ones over there paying people $10,000 just because they white. And you want to sit here and ignore my services because I'm black. Like, it's the foolishness of it. But you know what? That's on you. You got to do what you got to do, I guess. But that's why you limited in your abilities. It's because you're still hung up on color. As if somehow that makes it. Now, the only time you need to pay attention to color is when you're trying to color coordinate, and you're trying to get your outfit tight, trying to get it tight, trying to get it right. Pay attention to colors then, right? If you're colorblind, then, do your best to pay attention to colors, Yeah, colors do matter in certain circumstances, but when it comes to talent and abilities and you making strategic decisions on how you're going to pursue your career and your success, if you get blindsided by color, that's what it is. You're blindsided. In this kind of profession where you're trying to be successful, you really need to be colorblind. Because I'm telling you right now, money hangs out with money. Fame hangs out with fame. If you ain't there now, it may take you decades to get there. So if you want a quick workaround, then you need to work with us. If you don't and you still hung up on color, then you can go ahead and skip. You probably already don't skip this podcast anyways because you already hung up on color. So that's on y'all. Anyways, you guys, like I said on this show, we are only interviewing legends. And I'm sorry, legendary people are not hung up on color. They're not. They're not racist or not. They don't buy into stereotypes. When I say they don't buy in, it means they don't live their life and govern it by them because it limits their success. Now, okay, enough of that. Enough of that. So let's go back and talk about you. Where are you? It's 2022. Where are you today? And where do you want to be by May? Where are you today? Where do you want to be by May? What are you doing to make it happen? What do you need to be successful? Do you have the right people around you? What's your inner circle look like? What's your outer circle look like? What are your habits? Are you kicking bad habits? Are you engaged in better habits? Are you replacing bad habits with good habits? How do you feel about yourself? How are you? Stop. Let me ask that question again. How are you doing? Are you okay? Are you? It's okay not to be okay sometimes. It's okay to sometimes take a break, step away from life for a little bit, maybe for a couple of days, a week or so, and come back and reevaluate. Anytime I feel overstressed, overworked, or over just taxed mentally, emotionally, I have to sometimes just step out, take a little break, come back later when I feel better. If you need to do that, I encourage you to do that. Don't get swept up in, I know people are really focused on holidays right now, but holiday time can be a very stressful time for people. Stressful around their family. They're stressful about gifts and things, and I'm not saying that gift giving should stress you out. I'm not saying that family should stress you out, but it does. It does. Now, you guys know I don't celebrate holidays, so these times of the year I'm not stressed around this time of the year. I'm like, hey, whatever. I don't want you, though, to get so wrapped up in everything around you that you forget to take care of you. You need to be at your A game when 2022 starts. The only way you're going to get at your A game is if you ease into it now. So how you got to start preparing and planning for an amazing 2022 right now. So if you don't got the funds and you don't got the extras, then don't borrow to make things happen that shouldn't happen. Take care of you. Take care of your funds. Take care of your mental and emotional well-being and health. And let 2022 be your year. Does that make sense? And I want you guys to know that I'm here still. I'm here. 2015, I started podcasting. People thought I was going to be here for just a hot second. I'm here, baby. What's up? I'm still here. I was podcasting before I got popular. Let me just say that. All right. After I started podcasting, I'm not saying I'm the one that made it popular, but I'm saying like not shortly after I started podcasting, everybody named Mama thought they could become podcasters. Like, no, you can't. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try though. You should. Because I think it's good. It's good practice to definitely, but and everybody can, do what they want to do, but everybody can't bring your personality and can't bring your style. So no one can take that away from you. So there may be 1,000 podcasts out there, but there's no podcast like your podcast because there's only one you. No one can take that from you. Never forget that. So, but I'm still happy and proud that I was doing it before everybody jumped on. I like to be ahead of the wave when possible, when possible. No, I'm not always ahead of the wave, but I was with podcasting. That being said, you guys, this is going to be an amazing 2022. This is going to be an amazing podcast. Legends of 2022. Now, of course, you guys know I'm always the first guest on my show, so there ain't nobody coming in after this except the sponsors. Okay, listen to the commercials because that's how a brother gets paid. So besides that, you guys, that's nothing. I don't really have anything to add to that except, make sure that you're checking out my services. If you're really trying to set yourself apart in 2022, just a couple of things that I do offer you guys. I offer publicity services. If you want to be on the cover of a magazine, you want to be interviewed on multiple podcasts or television stations, I offer that service. If you are looking for career coaching, even fitness coaching, because I'm on a fitness journey and I publish a couple of fitness magazines. So if you need fitness coaching, getting back in shape, whether female or male, I got coaching programs for that as well. A lot of people don't know that I'm working in publicity and working as a publisher. I do a lot of photo shoots. So that obviously has given me skills over the years that I've been able to create and develop. So I also have a photography and videography company as well. So if you need some services there, all that you guys can find on my website, josephbonner.com. All of this is there. Okay, so whatever you need, I got you. Especially, now that I own television stations, we're producing TV content. We've done documentaries, we've done television shows, commercials, all of the above. So, we've been doing it for a while. So now, 2022, we're actually, we're actually offering some of these services, to others as well, in addition to just doing it for ourselves. So I guess that makes sense, right? So, not only do we publish magazines, we also publish magazines for others. So we did the April magazine. So that was a really good magazine. That was distributed in 120 countries. We just did Kids Change Makers with the Ariel Foundation, also distributed in 120 countries internationally. So typically, so if you need a magazine published as well and you need someone to publish it, we got you. You can come to us as well. If you want to be in my magazine or you want your own magazine, we'll take care of everything from article creation to distribution and even making sure that your magazine reaches 1 million its first issue. Because that's how we do, boy. That's how we do. And then we'll teach you how to market it and all that good stuff as well. I mean, we do a lot. So if your team needs some training in marketing, also we do that as well. Look at me, I'm all, hey, this is my show, so I'm about to write. I only do this once. a year. So y'all about to get to run down. All right. This is what I do. Also, if you guys need training with marketing, your team needs training on how to capitalize on social media, viral video marketing, LinkedIn marketing, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. We also offer online training courses for your team. And I do all the online training for that. So those are 2-hour courses, and these are in person. So these via Zoom. And the meetings are recorded so that you and your team can keep that afterward. We just ask that you don't distribute it beyond your team. And you guys can use it, obviously, multiple times for training purposes and all that good stuff. I don't care how many people you invite. The price is one price. So invite as many people as you want. Yeah. So we do a lot. I do a lot. So when I say making legendary moves, that's what I mean. Don't be satisfied with just doing one thing. If you have multiple skills, tap into them and use them. Allow people to benefit from who you are. You're not only your creativity, but also your capabilities. We've been doing this for a while. So instead of just benefiting our own brand, we are now offering it to other brands as well. It just makes sense. We already have the skills. We might as well open it up for a few other people to benefit from that. Now, I do have a new book coming out in 2022, and I'm actually publishing it with 4 other authors. They're not going to be in my book, but I'm also publishing their books as well because, I figured I'm doing it. So I might as well open up this opportunity for a few others to also get their books published. So if you want your own autobiography or like your story told, you guys can also hop on a website as well. Again, josephbonner.com, look under our services section. And you guys can also, request to get your book published by me. And that would be fun, right? It's time to tell your story, right? Make it happen, Captain. Also, if you guys are if you're one of my fellow podcasters out there, you're doing your thing. Congratulations, keep doing what you're doing. If your podcast has not been nationally syndicated, now listen. If your podcast is on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all that good stuff, that's good. That's great. That means you're distributed on the popular podcast platforms. Wonderful. But you're not considered a nationally syndicated host unless your show has been on and distributed on multiple radio stations, right? So if you would like to become a nationally syndicated podcast host, maybe something that you're not doing, then again, we have services for you as well. And actually, those services are pretty inexpensive right now. I don't know why. I'm not even sure why they're so cheap right now. Chances are the prices are going to go up in February. So if you want to become a nationally syndicated podcast host, you better jump on real quickly because I'm almost positive we're going to raise those prices. Because I'm like, why would I be doing it I think I'm just doing it so cheap because no one else is doing it, and I'm like, this is interesting. I don't mind doing it. It's like whatever, but one of the biggest things for me was when I first became a podcast host, I was like, I wanted my show on other radio stations, but pitching all these stations was a nightmare. So, me, you guys, I'm like, well, bump that. I'm about to create my own station. So we created 20. We own 20 stations, not only locally, but internationally. Just because what we do, and we could literally we'll probably be adding 10 more stations this year just because that just makes sense. Always doing more. That's the goal. But if you want to become a nationally syndicated podcast host, which would obviously help boost your brand credibility and your audience reach, and marketing for your podcast and getting people to be booked on your show kind of thing, and sponsors, all that good stuff, then you're definitely going to want to take advantage of our services there. So and that's probably just a half of what I do, you guys. I mean, I do a lot, and it's a lot. But I want you guys to know that I'm here. So if you need help, trust and believe it. The chances are, if you need help with it with your company, chances are we do it. Chances are. There's a good chance we do it. The only thing that we don't do, I'm going to tell you what we don't do. And then when I'm about to end this podcast, I'm going to tell you what we don't do. What we don't do is we don't play games. All right? So people who work with us, you need to be 100% confident and sure you want to work with us. If you're not sure, you're on the fence, find someone else who works like that. We don't work with on the fence people. We can't afford to. Just because my brand is so important, we're so important with touching people's lives and making a difference, and also leaving a positive impact, even with the companies that we work with. They have to be on that same path. So for us, it's really, really important that there's 100% trust going both ways in the business relationship. Both ways. It has to go. Or else I'm like, I can't work with y'all. So you do need to be 100% ready to do something amazing. And there needs to be that trust and commitment to the process. Always, always, always. All right, you guys. Well, that is it. I usually don't do this. Is so fun. Like I usually do this for everyone else. I usually never run through my services but this was interesting, and I probably didn't cover everything, you guys, but it is what it is. 2022 is going to be amazing. And it's going to be amazing when you make amazing decisions. Now, if you want to be a guest on Legends of 2022, well, then you need to send me a direct message on LinkedIn and let me know you want to be a guest. Because at this point, we don't have a sponsor opportunity for this show yet. But I'm saying that today, and that may change tomorrow. So if you see a sponsored opportunity for this show, jump on it. But obviously, we will have to evaluate you. We need to make sure that your brand is trying and that you're also making big moves that would put you in that legend category. So no pressure, just a little bit. But it's important that you're making big moves for 2022. All right, you guys, that being said, I'm your host, Joseph Bonner. You guys can always reach out to me directly at jb@josephbonner.com. That's J for Joseph, B for Bonner at josephbonner.com. jb@josephbonner.com. You guys can also follow me on Instagram at Mr. Joseph Bonner. That's Joseph Bonner on YouTube, TikTok. Also, Mr. Joseph Bonner on Facebook and Twitter as well. Also, I just want to give a special shout out to the Bully Avengers, continuing to provide services and for kids facing bullying, fighting against school violence, school shootings, and also helping with the investigation of missing children. Thankfulness, we all should be expressing throughout the year, but I'm also thankful that the Bully Avengers will be launching their National Bullying Helpline in 2022 again. So super excited for that, you guys. So if you guys would like to sponsor and support them, definitely check them out at bullyavenger.com. Become a partner and a sponsor. Do something amazing. That being said, you guys, take care of yourselves. Be safe. Legends of 2022, here we come. Until next time.
Do you know what to do if you see a downed power line? It's simple. Keep a safe distance and don't touch anything that is in contact with the line. It could save your life. For more safety tips, go to sdge.com/safety. Do you know what to do if you see a downed power line? It's simple. Keep a safe distance and don't touch anything that is in contact with the line. It could save your life. For more safety tips, go to sdge.com/safety.